the scariest thing in the world to human beings is regret. Go talk to 90-year-olds. They regret. They talk about regret. I think the reason I have wisdom is from a very young age, for who knows why. As a kid, I would go to the playground and my friends would have like their grandparents visit. I would like run off the playground and like sit with like 80-year-olds and be like, hey man, tell me about your life. I wish is the opening line. You just don't meet 90-year-olds that talk about how pumped they are that they made an extra $100,000. Like, they don't exist. What it taught me is the only thing I don't want to have is regret. Regret is poison. It's poison. So like, I'd rather lose and have all of you laugh at me than sit at 91 on a bench and be like, fuck, I really wish I had that person follow me around with a camera, or whatever it may be, you know? So like, just don't have regret. How old are you?
I'm 27.
You got fucking time. It's a balance of regret and patience. Like, you can go hard on for 3 years, do nothing right, wake up, and be young as fuck. We're fucking confused, my friends. There's people in here that are 29 that think their life's fucking over next year because they're gonna turn 30 and they don't have their shit figured out. There's fucking 88-year-olds running around Jersey that haven't fucking figured out their life. You should really go to a retirement home one day and volunteer and just talk to them. It will make you want to do shit every minute of your life, because when you see regret in a man's eyes, it's fucking painful because you can't do shit about it. When you're 90 and you're not mobile and you're tired and it's over, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't build that company you wanted. You can't spend that time with your kid. It's regret, and it fucking drives the shit out of me. You know what I am?
Energy.
I'm grateful as fuck.
Well, that's good
if
too.
If you really asked me what the slight variation of that is, I think it's gratitude.
Gratitude's huge. It's gigantic.
I think gratitude is a real drug. And perspective,
Yeah.
I think perspective is another one.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, perspective is good. You know, being honest and humble and recognizing that, yeah, you work hard, yeah, you bust your ass, but yeah, you're also like super lucky just to be living in America. Super lucky to be healthy.
400 trillion to 1. Your dad might have decided to jerk off one more time the day before.
Right.
And we wouldn't be here.
Damn.
400, Jamie, your mom might have wanted to take a quick glass of wine. Like 400 trillion to 1, the odds of being a human being. No, seriously, I know I'm getting this a little weird thing, but like, we're going down this path, like, I'm fascinated by that.
But once that happens.
Once you become a human?
Yeah, once you become a human, even then, the odds of being fortunate to have good health, fortunate to not have have the fuck beat out of you by your parents.
That's right.
Or being in foster care with abusive
exactly
people, or a million different factors.
You're going down you're going down the path that I think about on a daily basis. I also had the misfortune of 3 of my 4 grandparents dying before I knew them. So I haven't had a whole lot of death in my family. Like, I've had it, I mean, it's real good. And so I'm grateful.
Gratitude's giant, man.
It's
it's really good. And you know what? And you can extend that gratitude. Like, there's a lot of people that woe is me, but god damn it, you just need to look at it in a balanced perspective. There are people in parts of the world that would fucking literally kill to be in any position that anyone listening to this who is woe is meing right now.
You know what the problem with woe is me? Nobody's fucking listening. My friends, let me tell you who's listening to you complain. Either the 2 or 3 people that kind of have to because they're your parents, or your other fucking losing friends.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck. That's the problem. What people don't understand about complaining is it has a 0 ROI.
Right, and also excuses. Excuses are terrible. They're the worst thing you could ever do is give yourself a reason why you're not successful or not happy or not this or not that.
If anybody's made it that looks like you, that's it. That's it.
It must have happened.
There's a blueprint. People should be tripling down on what they're good at. They should be competent in certain areas, but you're not gonna become Beyonce, or like your bone structure is a certain way. Like, you're not gonna solve everything. Your IQ can get a little bit better, but don't worry about the incremental. Figure out what you fucking puts you on fire and you're halfway decent at. If you're lucky enough right now to be listening and you're good at what you like, become tunnel fucking vision. Because there's way too many voices telling you what and how. And here's the other thing, and this is the big one. The biggest thing that I've seen dividends from, have the conversation with the person that's holding you back. The reason most people who are listening right now are not doing that thing is they're worried about the opinion of somebody, usually their mother, usually their father. And the reality is that your spouse may be the person holding you back, and you have to have that conversation. We have to get to a place where you're doing you, because the number one thing that scares the fuck out of me is regret. And you're gonna sit there at 72 and you're gonna say, I wish, I wish, I wish. And whether that's money or spend more time with your family, there's a million ways to do this. Not everybody wants to buy the jets. Not everybody wants to smoke weed on the beach in Bahamas. Like, everybody's got a different fucking thing. Figure out what your fucking thing is and stop making fucking bullshit excuses. Who the president is, your mom did this, like I missed it, I had that idea for Uber. Then why didn't you fucking do it, dick? The interesting part is, why can I do what I do? Why am I not scared to make content on TikTok when it's all teenage people, right? Why am I willing to spend a ton of time having a ton of different shit going on, and if something fails, I don't give a fuck? I have VaynerMedia, I have VaynerSports, I have empathy, I have a million things going on. Inevitably, some of those things are gonna fail. Things that shouldn't fail, but they're going to. When you have 87 things, you're not gonna go 87-0. My ability to deal with your judgment when I go 70-13 is my strength. Why are you only doing one thing? Why don't you do shit? Because you're fucking scared. The question is why? Like, I'm just trying to get to why. Like, who? Like, who's gonna cast judgment? My friends, every person here that's not 100% happy, including myself, is not doing something because of judgment of somebody else. You know how in high school you were worried about your zit? And fuck, I used to be scared as shit when I had a zit. I was like, fuck, I don't wanna go to fucking school. What I learned through life was nobody gave a fuck about my zit. They were worried about their zit.
You do what you do every single day. You know, you wake up and you run your business, and you do your daily vlogs, and you go places, and you're a motivational speaker for a lot of people, and people look up to you and they need motivation, so they look up your shit. What drives you to do what you do and just keep moving and don't stop what you're doing?
The gratitude for that situation. I'm completely driven by gratitude. Do you know how grateful I am? Like, do you know, what did I do? My parents had sex at this one moment and created me. Like, I'm being serious, I'm just grateful. Like, I have such a good thing going. People like it, I like it, it's so good. But like, what did I do? Like, do you know how lucky I was that I was an immigrant? Do you know how much I'm driven by a chip on my shoulder? Do you know how lucky I got that I was 4'11" when I went into freshman year of high school? Like, all these things went in my favor. I don't know, man, I'm driven by gratitude. Every morning I wake up and I'm just grateful. Not only was I born in a communist country where capitalism and entrepreneurship is shit on, I went to the place where it's most on a pedestal. I got the greatest mom in the world. My dad taught me work ethic and my word, which made me not a bullshit artist, saved my ass, right? But then on top of everything else, I've had very little death or pain around me, and I'm 42 years old. It's unfortunate why that's the case, given the circumstances before, but it's still my reality, right? And then I have a communication style that for some reason, who knew? Don't forget I was 33 years old before I even made a video. Like, I never thought this could be real. Like, I didn't even fucking cross my mind. I was a businessman. Like, watching 20-year-olds that are hungry and thinking about their lives, right? I'm excited because I'm like, bro, you don't have any clue where this might fucking go, because, you know, at 31 years old, I'm like, maybe I'll make a video on this YouTube thing. Like, you have no idea where it's going. So I'm completely driven by gratitude. I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful. And it drives the shit out of me.
And that helps you, like, to not procrastinate and just, like, be in a slump, if you ever are, like, in a slump. I'm sure we all are.
Everybody's in a slump, but here's my thing, man. Nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? Like, the thing that people don't realize about slumps and depression, things that you gotta break them down. It's, for some people, it's a real disease and it's real stuff, but that's on a different plane. But like, being in a slump, like, everybody's in a slump. Like, everybody's got adversity. There's always something. To me, somebody's always got it worse. There's 7.7 billion people. If there was a world chart ranking and Sally was dead last, she can talk. And unless I'm in some weird little cage in some fourth world country, that means I'm not in last place, which means I have nothing to complain about. You know what I mean? Like, you live in America. The fuck are you complaining about? And so I implore all of you to take a step back and realize that whatever excuse you're gonna tell me, that your parents were alcoholics, that you were molested as a child, that you grew up in a shit country, that you didn't have a mentor when you were a kid, I respect the piss out of that, and I believe it. Do I believe that there are advantages for being white males? Of course I do. It's black and white. But do I also recognize that if anybody that looks like you ever made it, that needs to be an important debate? And do I realize, even more importantly, that every one of you can be practical and pay your dues, being a single mom taking care of 3 kids, but still, the fact that you can lay in bed at 10 p.m. to 1 in the morning and do shit on this is so fucking mind-boggling and is so fundamentally disrespected as a collective in this room that I implore you to take one big step back and realize that Grammy didn't have it this good. You have to do the right things and you have to eat shit. You have to eat shit. Guys, get into eating shit. I mean it though, I mean it. I worked all of my 20s and early 30s. Like, I didn't buy stuff, I worked every hour, I didn't do anything cool, and I was building my dad's business for him. I ate shit, real shit, stinky ass shit, you know? And I see everybody trying to get there so fast. You wanna have a great mentor as a youngster? Find somebody you admire and bring them 100% of value for 6.5 years and then see how it plays out. 6.5 years. Because when you're 28 and a half, you're still young as fuck.
The next question is, how do you stay motivated after a setback or a failure?
Because what's the alternative? I mean, the fuck's the alternative? How do I feel motivated? Because 400 trillion to 1. Gratitude, like, I'm thankful for what I have whenever I had something. I love when people are like, easy for you now. No, from the get. I cried when I got 2 Star Wars figures instead of 1 when I was 6 because I couldn't believe my parents could afford to do that. Like, I'm grateful. Gratitude. Like, somebody's always got it worse. And as long as that's the case, then I'm good. And don't forget, I like setbacks. I want them to judge me. I'm actually weirdly kind of romantic about having a pretty big setback because then everybody would start writing shit like, oh, I knew it. Oh, see? That would so motivate me because rising back up like a phoenix and then sticking it to their fucking mouth would be phenomenal. This is all about what's going on in your own head. This is all about how you play. I'm insular. My level of zero give a fucks about your opinion is extraordinary, while I want to do the behavior that really maps to you saying nice things about me. You know? Like, everybody's just not in control because they're not in their own head. I'm insular. And so when I make a mistake, I own it, and I really own it. I'm not pointing fingers. If somebody on my team made the mistake, which happens every day, I hired that person. I empowered that person to make a decision. And so, like, I own my shit, period. Scarlet letter for fucking days, and I wear it proudly. When do you quit your job and go in? When you can afford it. Happiness is so unbelievably addictive. And it makes me so sad that so many of you created golden handcuffs for yourself that aren't letting you leave your job because you need to make $130,000 a year now because you wanted 700 more square feet in your apartment, or you wanted a BMW instead of a Toyota. And so you're not happy because you wanted 2 or 3 things that mean absolutely nothing. I promise you, when you meet people that have tasted both, I make $180,000 a year and I have stuff, but I'm not happy. And then I went making $94,000 a year, but I'm doing what I love and I'm super happy and I have a little less stuff. It's not even close to a debate. So I implore all of you to really dig deep inside of yourselves and try to figure out why you need that stuff. I'm gonna save you time. You're trying to close an insecurity gap. Let me give you another huge hint. Everybody else sucks shit too, so do you. You're more than welcome to live in your own head and create excuses. The problem is nobody gives a fuck. Let me say something that might be a huge unlock. 99% of people don't do anything about the free information. The reason I give away all my best stuff is because nobody does anything about it, which leaves plenty for me to still do.
And for the 1% that do, those become your new friends. Those are your peers, those are people you love.
Let me tell you one other thing about those 1%. They were gonna win anyway. You can't stop winners from winning, my friends. And then you can educate the other 99% and get all the admiration and leave a wonderful legacy and live a fulfilled life. That's the model. Insecurity is the seed that creates all these issues. And so I'm trying to figure out why they didn't build self-esteem, who didn't build self-esteem, and the reason I bring up mom is like, Jesus, it's such a big percentage of it. Mom or dad is like 80% of it. It's just, you know, I do this a lot, I'm fascinated. Listen, my dad, I don't talk a lot about this. That's what happened to my dad. My dad, I'm so impressed by him. The way my grandmother parented my dad is unacceptable. That's the only word I can think of. So I'm fascinated by it because I had the reverse. I'm so perfectly parented by my mother, I'm unstoppable. There's nothing anybody can do to my mental state. It's insane. I get an email every day that says that they disconnected from somebody in their inner circle, and for the last 6 months, they're breathing for the first time in their lives. It is not easy to break up with your brother. It is not easy to break up with your spouse. It is not easy to break up with your father, but that's actually the binary move if they're the poison of your life. So, A, if that's your reality, you need to think, because guess what? You have one life. And you don't want to be 73 when your parent passes away and finally start breathing. B, if that is not your life, you need to drive home right now and kiss your parents in the face. I highly recommend everybody here starts really becoming religious about empathy. You want to really win in life? Figure out what empathy is and practice it. I watch people yell at baristas because they gave them the wrong fucking milk of the fucking moment. They're like, I said oatmeal milk, dick. They're buying $7 coffees and they're mad about the milk. We've just lost complete and utter perspective of how we just lack gratitude. You're fucking alive and you're capable. Go do, nobody cares about your fucking problems. They have their own problems, asshole. If somebody at school or in the comments is taking the time to watch your videos and tell you that you're ugly, you suck, you're stupid, they're in a very bad place. The best way to deal with that is compassion. I mean it. I've been taking hate for a decade, and everyone's like, fuck haters, delete it. I've actually only seen it one way from the first day in 2006 to now. I feel bad for them. I'm not even kidding, and I'm not talking bad for them you're now cool and have 4 million, they don't have it. I actually mean, think about how much it would suck to be in a place in your life where you are so hurting inside that you want to drag somebody else down. Compassion and empathy. I actually feel warmth towards the people that hate me the most. Yeah, it's an unusual answer, but I think it's why I've been able to persevere for so long with so much judgment thrown at me. And my whole career has been innovating in the wine business, in Silicon Valley, and now in the ad world. I get hate from people that are well established, not from anonymous accounts. But you should be pumped that you are even in a place where people can hate. You know, it's funny, that point of view I have, I think has helped a lot of people. And I actually think it's the truth. If you're in such a bad place that you want to bring somebody else down, I do feel empathetic. I don't know what miraculous situation of my parents having sex at the right moment, me being born in the Soviet Union, me growing up in Edison and working in a liquor store in Springfield, but I'm telling you right now, whatever those dynamics were, I sit here back home with an amazing amount of gratitude to my perspective. Forget about anything else I've got going on. I'm trying to spend the rest of my life to articulate my perspective so that you can debate it against yours. But if you don't complain, then you've won. You can do it any way you want. Make $1 a year, make all the dollars in a year. It's not about that. If you're happy and you don't complain, you've won.